Hey everybody, today we're going to be talking about the environment variable path. What is path? So if you type in env, you can see this is our path. All right, what path is a list of directories that is searches for commands, executables, things like that. Like if you have a script that's custom, or you have a program that you want to run, or any of the utilities like ls, cd that you want to use. All right, when you type in the command ls, by default, it searches your path. Okay. So for example, this command ls, if I do which on it, it tells me this is the location of it. That's where it's located. And if we look at our path by doing echo $path, we can see here that it's in this location, which is right here. User bin, right here. So it's under user bin or USR bin, right? So for example, if I wanted to make my own script, right? The only way it would work is if I run it and give it the full path or the full location of where it's located, or I put it into the actual path variable. So I'm going to make a command called lslh. It's going to be a bash script. So let me just create it real quick. obls.lh. Okay. So now I need to make it executable. Okay. So now that it's executable, the only way to run it is by doing it like this. As you can see, it works because I'm specifying the period is talking about the current location that I'm in, and then the forward slash is looking in this directory and is executing the script that I have. Okay. If I run it by default, it won't work because it's not my path. So one thing I can do is make my own path. Okay. So if I want to add my own like directory for commands, there's one thing that I can do. I can make a directory called commands in my Kali folder. And then what I can do is add it to my path. I can do export path equals $path. And then I have to put this colon, double colon, because this will actually specify the delimiter. This is where it ends. Anything after that is where it's going to put it. So I have to put the actual full path of where my home folder is. So it'll be /home /Kali /commands. If I do that, then this should be added to my path. And the only reason I did that is because if I do ls, you can see that I have commands because I created that directory in my home folder. So if I go to commands, if I do pwd, you can see the full path of the location of where it's located. Okay. So let me go back 2 times. Now, what I need to do, if I want this command to be in my path, I have to move it to the commands folder. So I can do move lslh commands. All right. So now when I run lslh, it should work normally. And why? It's because now it's in my path variable. You see? You can see here that at the end, that's in my path variable. And this is the last directory that it searches when it runs commands. Okay. So for example, let's say I made another one, another lslh. But this one, I'm going to do echo new version. Okay. And let's make it executable. Okay. Now this one, I'm going to need sudo permissions because I can't just move it into a bin directory. So I'm going to do move lslh, and I'm going to move it to the bin folder. So this one, this bin folder right here. All right. Okay, so once I did that, now it's in my bin folder. So we can verify that by doing ls-l. Then we can do /bin/. lslh, you can see that it exists there now. Okay. When I run this command, right, technically speaking, this is incorrect. The reason why it's showing this is because it's in my cache. Okay, let me explain. So by default, when you type in a command, it searches these directories. Okay, technically the new command should have ran because it's in /bin, and this comes before the actual custom directory that I made. So technically the new version should have actually executed, but it didn't because there's a thing called hash, or basically what it tells you is the most used command. So when I do lslh by default, since this is in my cache, by default is going to search this directory. Okay, so I can clear it by doing hash -r. If I do that, there's nothing in there because there's no cache. Okay, so by default, if I run lslh, it should default give me the new version, and the new version is located in /bin. All right, that's pretty much it. The path variable is not too complicated. Remember, it's a list of directories that your system looks for or looks in to execute commands, scripts, and things like that. So remember, that's what the path is. And like I said, you can do a lot of things with this. But remember, this path is not going to be actually permanent unless you put it inside of your, like, let me show you. Unless you put it inside of your, either your bash rc or your .profile. This should be here. You can put it in the bash rc. The reason why is because when you log in, it actually runs all the commands here. So you can actually add it to this file by doing bash rc. And if you look here, you can add it wherever you want. If you want to add it here, you can add it here. You can put custom user commands or whatever, or environment, and then you can delete that and then put export, and then you can put path, right, equals $path, and then the actual location of your file, and then yeah, there's how you would do it. This is important because every single time you log in, all these commands are ran. So if I do that, it should be stable. So basically, one thing that you could do is do the source, because this will actually read and execute the scripts in there. So by default, this will work, right? So if I log out and let's say that file is commented out. So if I comment this out, okay. All right. And if I do reset, okay. Now I do, now if I do that, if I do lslh, right, that only the new version is going to show. Actually, you know what? Because the new version is in the /bin, so let me delete that version real quick. Because of course it's going to work because it's by default, it's like this. So let's do it like this. Let's do sudo, let's remove it real quick. Okay. Now if I do lslh, nothing works because the export variable is in there, right? So what I can do, if I go back to my bash rc and I uncomment this, right? If I do lslh, it will not work because it's not sourced. So if I source it, now it should work. So if I do lslh, it should work. Now if I reset my terminal again, if I do it again, it should work because it's in my bash rc. All right, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, and if there's any videos that you guys want me to make, or you have any topics in mind, please let me know below.